Grace and peace, CCC. I sought counsel from Pastor Bernard. He told me it was time to be revealing. It was time to be open. It was time to acknowledge what's sometimes hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about white privilege. It's hard to talk about what you cannot see clearly. And I have to tell you, I increasingly understand what I don't understand. And I have to find a way to see more clearly. Because the pain and the anger that have come out in recent weeks more sharply than ever represent something that so many people in my city, so many of you, deal with every hour of every day. The disrespect, the sense of being pushed away, of not being heard, the pain, the weight that is structural and institutional racism. It pervades the lives of so many, and yet for me, I have not spent a day in my life where that was the reality that clouded me, that surrounded me and held me back. And so I thought I understood some things. I now realize what I don't understand, and that could leave one hopeless. That could leave one despairing. These weeks of pain and anger, of protest, of a cry for help, for change, could leave you feeling that things couldn't ever progress, or they could convince us that they must. And that's where I fall down, in a belief that no matter what we have gone through together in these weeks, no matter what the coronavirus has done, robbing lives from our communities, no matter how much pain has been piled on top of pain, the answer is not hopelessness. The answer is to find a new path. I believe there is a new path. I believe our faith tells us there is always a way, even when it isn't evident. I believe that history teaches us that some of the crises we wished had never befallen us also opened the door to change in a way that was never possible before. I believe we're in the middle of a transformative moment in our history, in this city, in this nation. And it will be about actions, not words. We will take funding from the NYPD and give it to youth organizations and social services that can go at the root cause of so many of our challenges. We will provide support and resources to the Cure Violence movement, the crisis management system that build grassroots solutions that stop violence before it happens. We will create true accountability in the NYPD, and it must be swift and it must be clear. When you see it, you know it. That's what every New Yorker must be able to rely on. We must ensure we will, that someone who should not be a police officer is not a police officer. That someone who can't show respect for the community they're supposed to serve and protect should not be working in that community, because it cannot work. These things can be done. These things will be done. I was with young people in Southeast Queens this weekend. I visited them at Life Camp. I talked to them about their lives. I heard how much they are surrounded by disrespect and devaluation. And yet I heard clear, sharp voices. I heard voices filled with vision, hope despite pain. I saw our future. It was there before me, and I wondered how on earth any society could devalue its own future. Our young men, our young women of color will be the future of New York City and of America. So I feel some small measure of the despair and the pain, but I acknowledge today only a small percentage. But even that small percentage makes clear to me how intolerable and unacceptable the reality is, and the answer from every one of us who says we want to lead is to do what I think Scripture tells us all the time, to take the power of faith, the belief in peace, in hope, in our fellow human being, in something greater than us, and turn it into action. CCC, you have shown that way many a time. I'm honored to be with you to say, I have faith together. We'll find that path in this city. We must, we can, we will. God bless you all.